Welcome to Monemacer product reviews. For the last decade, the crown of every high-end robot vacuum has been the LiDAR turret. That spinning lighthouse on top was the symbol of intelligence. But it was also a physical handicap. That little hump is the reason your robot ignores the dust bunnies under your couch, the space behind your dresser, and the dark void beneath your bed. Well, today, the crown has been removed. The death of the turret. For the last decade, the crown of every high-end robot vacuum has been the LiDAR turret. That spinning lighthouse on top was the symbol of intelligence. But it was also a physical handicap. That little hump is the reason your robot ignores the dust bunnies under your couch, the space behind your dresser, and the dark void beneath your bed. Well, today, the crown has been removed. This is the Roborock Qrevo Slim. It is the first flagship-grade robot to achieve true thinness to winness without sacrificing its brain. We are looking at a machine that is only 8.2 centimeters tall. That is roughly 3.2 inches for my imperial friends. To put that in perspective, most flagship robots are pushing 4 or 4.5 inches. In this 10-minute masterclass in survival guide, we aren't just doing an unboxing. We are going deep into the StarSight autonomous system, the 7,000 Pascal suction floor test, and most importantly, the survival maintenance you must perform to keep a camera-based navigation system from losing its mind. If you've been waiting for a robot that doesn't get stuck under the furniture it's supposed to be cleaning, you're in the right place. Segment 1. The Navigation Masterclass. Let's talk about the Slim magic. How do you navigate a complex home without a spinning laser? Roborock calls this StarSight. It's a dual-light 3D LiDAR system. Instead of one laser spinning on top, it uses structured light sensors embedded directly into the front bumper. Think of it like this. Traditional LiDAR is like a lighthouse. It sees everything in a circle, but it can't see what's directly beneath its feet. StarSight is like a pair of high-tech night vision goggles. It projects a grid of infrared light in front of it. It doesn't just see a wall. It sees the depth, the texture, and the height of every object in its path. The survival advantage. Because it uses 3D structured light, the Slim is significantly better at pet waste avoidance than the older Qrevo models. It can identify 73 different types of objects. In my testing, it didn't just avoid my shoes. It avoided a rogue charging cable I left on the floor, the ultimate robot killer. The Masterclass. Insight. Does it work in the dark? Yes. This isn't just a camera. It uses infrared. However, a survival tip for the tech-obsessed. If you have floor-to-ceiling mirrors or ultra-glossy black baseboards, StarSight can occasionally get dazzled because the light grid reflects off the mirror and thinks the room continues forever. If you see your robot banging its head against a mirror, just use the app to draw a virtual wall. Problem solved. Segment 2. The Cleaning Specs. Let's get into the masterclass of suction. The Qrevo Slim is packing 7,000 pascals of hyperforce suction. Now, let's be honest. Manufacturers love to throw Pascal numbers around like they're the only thing that matters. Here is the truth. 7,000 pascals is more than enough for any hard floor in existence. If you have hardwood, tile, or laminate, this robot could probably pick up a literal marble. But suction alone doesn't clean carpets. For that, you need the Duo Roller Riser Brush. This is a twin rubber brush system. The brushes spin in opposite directions, creating a pinch and lift effect. If you have a golden retriever or a cat that sheds like it's getting paid for it, this is your survival tool. Rubber brushes are vastly superior to bristle brushes because hair doesn't weave into them. It gets pushed into the suction gullet. The survival guide for carpet owners. In the Roborock app, there is a hidden gem called Carpet First Mode. If you have thick rugs, use this. The robot will clean the carpets before it wets the mops. This ensures that even with the 10mm mop lift feature, there is zero chance of a damp mop touching your expensive Persian rug. Mopping Performance. The Slim features dual spinning mops that rotate at 200 revolutions per minute. They apply consistent downward pressure. Unlike the vibrating plate on the S-Series, spinning mops are better for dried-on stains. Think dried coffee or muddy paw prints. They literally scrub the floor rather than just wiping it. Segment 3. The multifunctional dock. You aren't just buying a vacuum, you're buying a maintenance-free lifestyle. Well, almost. The Qrevo Slim dock is a masterpiece of automation. It handles the 3 M's: mops, management, and mess. 60 degrees Celsius hot water. Washing. This is crucial. Cold water doesn't kill bacteria or dissolve grease. The dock heats the water to 140 degrees Fahrenheit to wash those mop pads. Hot air. Drying. After the wash, the dock blows warm air over the pads for about 3 hours. Survival. Tip: do not disable this. If you turn off the heated dry to save a few pennies on electricity, your mop pads will start to smell like a gym locker within 48 hours. Auto emptying. The dustbin is emptied into a 2.5-liter bag. In a standard home, you only change this once every 7 to 8 weeks. The survival maintenance task. The dock is self-cleaning. But that's a bit of a marketing myth. At the bottom of the dock, there is a plastic tray where the mops get scrubbed. Gunk, hair, and silt will collect there over time. Once every 2 weeks, pop that tray out, rinse it in the sink, and wipe the base of the dock. If you ignore this, the dirty water sensor will eventually throw an error because the drain is clogged with hair slime. It takes 60 seconds of your time, but adds years to the dock's life. Segment 4. The App and Intelligent Survival Guide. The Roborock app is widely considered the best in the business, but it's dense. Let's do a survival walkthrough of the settings you actually need to toggle. Reactive AI Obstacle. Avoidance. Keep this on standard. There is a sensitive mode, but it can make the robot too timid, preventing it from getting close to chair legs. Dynamic Remop. This is a masterclass feature. The Slim has a sensor that detects how dirty the mop water is. If it finishes a room and realizes the water is filthy, it will automatically go back and mop that room a second time. Turn this on. It's the difference between visually clean and sanitary. The Hello Rocky voice. Assistant. This model has a built-in mic array. You don't need Alexa or Google Home. You can literally say, "Hello Rocky, clean the kitchen," and it will head out. It's surprisingly localized. If you're standing in the living room and say, "Clean here," it uses the microphones to triangulate your position and cleans a 1.5-meter square around you. App survival tip. Use the furniture map. Once the robot maps your house, you can drop icons for your bed, your sofa, and your dining table onto the map. This makes zone cleaning incredibly easy. Instead of drawing a box every day, you just tap the bed icon and say, "Clean around here." Segment 5. The Longevity Masterclass. This is the part most reviewers skip, but it's the most important for your wallet. This is a $1,000 plus machine. If you want it to last, you need a 30-day survival ritual. The front sensors. Because the Slim doesn't have a turret, its eyes are on the bumper. Every month, take a damp microfiber cloth and wipe the front glass. Fingerprints, dog nose smudges, or dust layers will degrade its navigation. If your robot starts acting lost, 90% of the time, it just needs its eyes wiped. The front caster wheel. This is the small black and white wheel at the front. It pops out with a flathead screwdriver. Hair gets wrapped around the axle inside. If that wheel stops spinning, it will eventually wear a flat spot on the plastic, and your robot will start thumping as it drives across your hardwood floors. The HEPA filter. The dock empties the dust, but it doesn't clean the filter. Take the filter out of the robot's onboard bin and tap it against the side of a trash can. You'll see a cloud of fine dust fall out. This restores the 7,000 Pascal suction power. You can wash it with water, but survival warning. It must be 100% dry before going back in. If you put a damp filter in, the suction will pull water into the vacuum motor and fry the electronics. The verdict. So, is the Roborock Qrevo Slim the new king? In this masterclass, we've seen that the Slim isn't just a gimmick. It's a solution to the under-sofa problem that has plagued robot vacuums for a decade. By moving the LiDAR to the bumper, Roborock has created a machine that cleans more of your home's actual square footage than almost any other flagship. The survival summary. Pros: incredible 8.2 centimeter height, top-tier object avoidance, hot water mop washing, and the Duo Roller system, which is a godsend for pet owners. Cons. The dock still requires manual cleaning every few weeks, and the camera-based navigation can be sensitive to mirrors. If you have a home with lots of low-clearance furniture, this is an easy recommendation. It's the most complete set-it-and-forget-it system on the market today. Check the links in the description for the latest deals. I usually track the prices there to help you find the best value. If this survival guide helped you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dive tech masterclasses. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.